Module 2. Tale Time. (2A). Bookworms. Exercise 2B, page 16.
Excitement, adventure and mystery all make up the world of fiction. And here are some of the greatest names in fiction. Who was the Queen of Crime? Agatha Christie, of course, the world's best-known mystery writer. Agatha Christie was born in Devon, England in 1890, and she created many fictional detectives. The most famous are Hercule Poirot and Miss Marple. Hercule Poirot is a Belgian detective famous for his neat appearance, his obsession with order, and his use of psychology in his investigations of crimes. Miss Marple, on the other hand, is nothing like a typical detective. At first glance, she is an ordinary old lady who loves knitting and gossip, but she can solve the hardest of mysteries and puts many criminals behind bars. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle was born in Edinburgh, Scotland in 1859. He studied medicine at the University of Edinburgh. It was one of his professors that inspired him to create the most brilliant detective ever, Sherlock Holmes. Holmes's extraordinary powers of observation help him solve the most mysterious cases, with the help of his faithful companion, Dr. Watson. Holmes is very logical and extremely intelligent. He wears a cape and hat, smokes a pipe, and uses a magnifying glass. Jules Verne lived in Nantes, on the west coast of France. He loved the sea, and when he was only 12, he tried to run away on a ship to the West Indies. Unfortunately for him, the sailors caught him and sent him home. Jules had a great imagination and wrote several adventure stories and created mysterious characters like Captain Nemo. In 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, Captain Nemo travels under the sea in his submarine, the Nautilus. On his journeys, he meets strange sea creatures and finds an underwater city.
(2B). A classic read. Exercise 1, page 18. Exercise 2B, page 18.
Journey to the Centre of the Earth by Jules Verne is an adventure story about a professor, Otto Lidenbrock, and his nephew Axel. After they find a mysterious message from explorer Arne Saknussemm in an old book, they go on a dangerous journey to look for the centre of the Earth. During their adventure, their raft is broken against rocks, and they discover an amazing place. While Hans repairs the raft, Axel and the professor look around.
Let's explore this area over here. What's that noise?
Quick, hide!
The men hide behind some bushes.
Look! A man and huge elephants.
But they used to live thousands of years ago. When we get home, people will be amazed by what we saw.
But will they believe us?
We must get back to Hans and the raft.
Wait, what's this?
It's a very old knife. It must be Arne Saknussemm's.
The professor finds initials on a cave wall.
Saknussemm was here. The compass must be broken. We found it. This must be the last part of Arne Saknussemm's journey. Quick, let's find Hans and come back.
(2C) Vanished. Exercise 1A, page 20.
1. Two. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10.
'Exercise 1C, page 20.
One Saturday last winter, my best friends Amy, Maria, Greg, Andy and I decided to spend the weekend in my uncle's big old house in the country. It was stormy outside, so we decided to spend a cozy evening chatting together in the living room downstairs. Suddenly there was a powerful gust of wind. The lights flickered and then went out altogether. "What was that?" I said.
Don't worry, John. It's just a power cut.
Greg reassured me. We carried on laughing and telling scary stories in the dark. After a while, there was a bright flash of lightning that lit up the whole room. There was a loud gasp.
Andy is missing,
Amy cried. We all looked at each other confused and scared because no one had seen Andy leave the room. We felt our way around the house, calling Andy, but there was no reply. We went back to the living room and tried to think of what to do next. Just then, there was a loud snore from the corner of the room. At that moment, the lights came back on. There was Andy, fast asleep on a big velvet sofa. Andy sat up sleepily, rubbing his eyes.
"Oh, good! The lights are back on," he said. "I was sleepy and felt like a snooze. I didn't want anyone to trip over me, so I crawled over here."
We were all very relieved.
2D Culture Corner. Exercise 1, page 21. Exercise 2A, page 21.
The gift of storytelling. A story should be told eye to eye, mind to mind, heart to heart. Stanley Robertson, storyteller. Perhaps the best way to spend a cold winter night in Ireland is to sit in front of the fire and enjoy the company of a Shankie, a storyteller. Ireland has many stories to tell, and they belong to two groups: myths and legends and folk tales. Throughout the years, people passed on stories to form a great tradition. Myths and legends are stories about giants, saints, warriors and kings. They are tales of heroes who overcome great obstacles, fight with magical beasts, and have incredible adventures. One such legend is the story of the noble champion Finn McCool and his group of warriors, the Fianna, who protected the High Kings of Ireland. Folk tales entertain people while teaching them moral values. These stories have the most unusual characters: fairies, elves, leprechauns, and many more. The leprechaun is one of the most popular characters in Irish folklore. Its name means small body. It is a type of fairy that makes shoes and has a hidden treasure, a crock filled with gold. If you catch it, it must tell you the secret location of its treasure immediately. But be careful. It will try to trick you into looking away for a second, and then it will disappear.
English in Use 2. Exercise 1A, page 22.
You'll never guess what happened to me. What is it? You look a little upset. I had quite a shock. What on earth was it? Oh my goodness! What was going on? Oh dear!
Exercise 1B, page 22.
Hi, Penny.
Hi, John. You'll never guess what happened to me.
What is it? You look a little upset.
Oh dear, I had quite a shock.
Really? Why?
I was at the zoo when I heard people shouting and screaming.
What on earth was it?
Everyone was around the fountain and they all looked really scared.
Oh my goodness! What was going on? Did someone fall in the water?
Not someone, but something. There was a long orange snake with black stripes swimming around in it.
Oh dear! Was anyone hurt?
No, the guards caught it quickly and put it back in its cage.
Well, well, well. You don't see that every day, do you?
No, you certainly don't.
Exercise 4, page 22.
Reading rules. E, double E, EA, E, me, C, bead, ERE, double ER, EAR, ear, here, beer, beard, me, mere, bee, beer, knee, near.
Exercise 2B, page 23.
Oscar Wilde, The Canterville Ghost. When Mr. Hiram B. Otis, the American ambassador, bought Canterville Chase, everyone told him it was a very foolish thing to do, as the place was haunted. At 11 o'clock, the family went to bed, and by past all the lights were out. Sometime after, Mr. Otis woke up because of a noise outside his room. It sounded like the clank of metal. He got up at once, struck a match, and looked at the time. It was exactly 1 o'clock. Mr. Otis was quite calm. The strange noise continued, and with it he heard the sound of footsteps. He put on his slippers, took a small bottle out of his dressing case, and opened the door. Right in front of him, he saw an old man. He looked terrible. His eyes were red, his hair was long and grey, his clothes were old-fashioned and dirty, and there were handcuffs and rusty chains on his wrists and ankles.
My dear sir,
said Mr. Otis,
those chains need oiling. Here, take the small bottle of lubricant. I will leave it here for you, and I will give you more if you need it.
With these words, the ambassador put the bottle down on a marble table and went back to bed, closing the door behind him.
Exercise 6, page 23.
For a moment, the Canterville Ghost stood quietly in the hall. Then he threw the bottle of lubricant upon the floor and he ran down the corridor. Just as he reached the top of the great wooden stairs, a door opened and two little white-robed figures appeared, and a large pillow flew past his head. There was no time to be lost, so he vanished through the wall, and the house became quiet again. On reaching a small secret room, he leaned up against a wall to get his breath. He wasn't very happy. For the first time in 300 years, he felt insulted.